The moment Megyn Kelly chose to speak, the cultural temperature shifted. There was no flashing breaking news banner, no emergency alert pushing phones to vibrate in unison. And yet, the reaction was immediate and unmistakable. When Megyn Kelly weighs in on a subject, particularly one rooted in public perception, power dynamics, and emotional nuance, people listen. Her voice carries credibility. Her timing is rarely accidental. Her words invite examination rather than dismissal. For years, fans of Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban had speculated quietly about what truly happened behind closed doors. The questions lingered beneath glossy red carpet smiles and carefully worded interviews. But until now, no one with real cultural authority had dared to articulate those curiosities in a way that felt both honest and respectful. When clips of Megyn Kelly's commentary began circulating online, social media erupted almost instantly. Reaction videos flooded timelines. Commentary channels went live. What had once been whispered became a full-volume conversation. People weren't just curious, they were emotionally invested. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban weren't merely another celebrity couple, they were the couple. The embodiment of stability in an industry notorious for impermanence. For years, they represented something aspirational: longevity, mutual admiration, and grace under pressure. Their marriage seemed immune to the chaos that consumed so many Hollywood unions. Nicole Kidman, poised and meticulously composed, projected a version of Hollywood glamour that felt timeless rather than performative. She was admired not just for her talent, but for her restraint, a woman who carried herself with dignity, even when her personal life was under intense scrutiny. Keith Urban, warm, charismatic, and endlessly expressive through music, offered a complementary energy. On stage, he radiated devotion. In interviews, he spoke of Nicole with reverence and gratitude. Together, they appeared uncheckable. That image endured for years: award shows, red carpets, joint interviews. Public admiration followed them everywhere. And yet, as Megyn Kelly carefully suggested, appearances, especially in the celebrity ecosystem, can be profoundly misleading. Kelly was deliberate in her framing. She did not accuse. She did not sensationalize. Instead, she illuminated something far more uncomfortable and far more relatable: the reality that even the most admired relationships carry unseen weight. Her commentary arrived at a critical moment. Nicole and Keith's separation had already stunned fans, leaving behind a vacuum filled with speculation, rumor, and half-formed narratives. Gossip dominated the discourse, while nuance was largely absent. Megyn Kelly brought authority into that chaos. Rather than leaning into scandal, she reframed the conversation around emotional dynamics, patterns of behavior, and the quiet pressures that accumulate over time. She spoke not as a gossip, but as an observer of public psychology and human relationships. To many viewers, it felt as though someone had finally translated the private complexities of a high-profile marriage into language that respected both individuals involved. Kelly began by revisiting the origins of Nicole and Keith's relationship, reminding audiences why it had resonated so deeply in the first place. Their bond was forged through mutual respect for each other's craft and a shared understanding of fame's relentless demands. Both had lived under intense scrutiny long before they met. Both understood the cost of public life. That shared experience created a foundation built not just on affection but endurance. She emphasized that their early years were not fairy tale perfection, but rather a series of conscious choices, navigating long-distance schedules, balancing tours with film shoots, and carving out moments of normalcy in an environment that rarely allows it. Sustaining a marriage under those conditions, Kelly noted, requires extraordinary effort and compromise. Then she turned to the subtler signs, the moments that fans had often dismissed or romanticized, the quiet pauses in interviews, the careful choreography of public appearances, the way emotional labor is disguised as elegance. Kelly suggested that career pressures, public expectation, and personal ambition can create silent stress, especially when both partners are required to appear perpetually composed. Keith Urban's relentless touring schedule and constant public engagement demanded emotional availability on demand. Nicole Kidman's career required intense immersion into complex roles while maintaining a carefully curated public image. Together, they weren't just managing daily life, they were managing the performance of stability. Kelly was careful not to assign blame. Instead, she invited viewers to consider context. What some interpreted as distance may have been exhaustion. What others saw as indifference may have been self-preservation. Nicole's serene presence at award shows, Kelly suggested, was not evidence of emotional detachment, but rather the result of years of conditioning, a learned ability to process complex emotions, privately while maintaining public composure. Similarly, Keith's warmth, charm, and dedication to music were not merely personality traits. They were coping mechanisms, ways of channeling emotional weight into creativity while navigating immense pressure. Perhaps the most striking element of Kelly's commentary was its emphasis on empathy. She framed the situation not as a failure, but as a collision between love and circumstance. Two people who care deeply for one another, challenged by timing, expectations, and the relentless scrutiny of fame. In doing so, she dismantled the myth that admiration equals understanding. The reaction was immediate and polarized. Clips of Kelly's analysis were dissected frame by frame. Some viewers praised her insight, calling it the most thoughtful commentary to emerge since the split. Others questioned whether any outsider could truly understand the emotional dynamics of a private marriage. Was Nicole overwhelmed? Was Keith emotionally distant? Were these pressures inevitable, or were there moments when different choices could have changed the outcome? What everyone agreed on, however, was that the conversation had shifted. Speculation gave way to reflection. Keith Urban's response, or lack thereof, became its own subject of analysis. His public statements were measured, respectful, and restrained. Fans scrutinized every word, every pause, searching for hidden meaning. Some interpreted his tone as emotional maturity. Others saw signs of guarded vulnerability. Kelly framed these reactions not as evidence of wrongdoing, but as the natural response of someone navigating grief and scrutiny simultaneously. Nicole Kidman's silence drew equal attention. Known for her discretion, she did not rush to clarify or defend herself publicly. Kelly pointed out that silence is often misinterpreted. It can signify reflection, self-protection, or emotional processing, not disengagement. The public, however, projected meaning onto every appearance, every photograph, every absence. As Kelly observed, these interpretations often reveal more about audience psychology than about the individuals themselves. The media frenzy intensified. Talk shows, commentary channels, and fan forums amplified every angle. Kelly's voice became the lens through which the narrative evolved. What one viewer interpreted as resilience, another perceived as emotional distance. What one saw as calm, another labeled suppression. This duality, Kelly noted, is inherent to human relationships, and when magnified by celebrity, it becomes distorted. Beneath it all was a broader lesson about fame, trust, and emotional labor. Kelly emphasized that celebrity relationships are not exempt from human complexity. Admiration does not equal access. Visibility does not equal understanding. Nicole and Keith succeeded professionally while carrying deeply personal challenges, a balancing act that deserves empathy rather than judgment. By the end of her segment, Megyn Kelly had done something rare. She reframed a celebrity breakup not as scandal, but as a human story. One rooted in effort, compromise, vulnerability, and care. Fans were left contemplating not just the specifics of this marriage, but the realities of love under pressure. The implications of Kelly's commentary continue to ripple outward. Social media remains active, speculation persists, but the tone has changed. The conversation is no longer just about what went wrong, it's about what was endured. In the end, this story isn't about exposing flaws. It's about recognizing humanity. Behind every headline is a private reality. Behind every polished image is emotional labor unseen by the public. And behind every admired relationship is a complex, fragile, deeply human bond. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban are not perfect. No one is. But they navigated their lives with dignity, resilience, and emotional awareness. Megyn Kelly's voice reminded the world of that truth, that even the seemingly uncheckable carry invisible weight. And in a culture obsessed with spectacle, that reminder is both grounding and necessary.